We had Jag on August 6, 2015. He was a 27-weeker to the day. He was born at a whopping 1 pound, 5 ounces, and he was 13 inches long. Which was the longest 12 to 24 hours of my life. He was the tiniest baby I'd ever seen, but he was a miracle. He was certainly a miracle.
We went in for our first OB appointment, and we hadn't told anybody we were pregnant. Dr. Dora Smith found that we were having triplets. We were 27 weeks and 6 days. Later that night, I went into labor.
When I first found out I was pregnant, everything was just fine. Like, I had no problems throughout the pregnancy. He was healthy. Elijah Marquise Clark was born July 14, 2015 at 7:34 a.m. at 1 pound, 8 ounces. I was sad the whole time he was here because I just felt like I couldn't do anything to help him.
The doctors can't always tell you, they don't know God's plan. So they just know that once they got here, they were going to give him a fighting chance to make it, to grow. And we were lucky that that's all he needed to do, was just grow. This is the place that he needs to be to get better and to grow.
We had a lot of ups and downs. We spent 2.5 weeks here, and then Mason and Logan were transported to Children's for PDA ligations. And Mason had grade 3 brain bleeds, and so we ended up staying at Children's. James stayed here until he was about 3 weeks old, and then he went over to Children's too. When we transferred over to Children's, the care was seamless. We had the exact same doctors, the exact same team taking care of our kids. So even though the NICU was a completely different atmosphere over there, we were 100% comfortable. And we never questioned anything. We were very confident that we were getting the best care possible.
When it was time for him to go home, I was very excited because we had been here so long, and I was just ready to get him home because I was so used to going home, seeing an empty room without him in there. So when it was finally time to start getting car seats and bringing the clothes up here for him to wear home, it was a good feeling. I felt so much better, like a big relief, because I knew he was doing better and he was able to come home.
You really connect with these nurses on a personal level, and they become your friends because you're there for so long, and they really do, these nurses and doctors really, they love your baby as much as you love them. They really do care for your baby and want the best for your baby and do their very best to help your baby get stronger and get better to go home.
His primary nurses were Allison Honda and Crystal Barron and Kayla Harrington, and they loved him to death. So I had no worries when they were there because I knew he was in good hands. But all of the nurses that had him, if they weren't there, they were great. I'm glad he was here and didn't have to be transferred because I really felt comfortable when I did leave.
Arkansas is very, very lucky to have UAMS because the doctors and nurses that work here, we wouldn't have, we're 45 minutes. We were 45 minutes from UAMS. And like Brian said earlier, there were many families that didn't live here. And so they were not as lucky as we were to be Arkansans and to have this wonderful hospital here that has all of the technology that our baby needed to grow, and the doctors and nurses here that had the knowledge to take care of our baby. We are very, very blessed to have UAMS.